you spell appearance again? My brain's not working.
How do you spell what?
Appearance. A.
PP.
PP.
Not yet.
Earance. Correct? There.
Down here, help. Let's rock. Throw me my fucking shotgun. Sawed off. Sprayer. Slayer. Let's rock. Throw down. Dancing, motherfucker. Iced tea. You're both home. Waste them all. Pills, bills, people, power, 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 money. The skull bug up here by the coke machine. Harry Rollins. Harry Rollins, poster boy. Liar, sellout, home, electric, and both in your face. Raw power. Let's get it on.
I have never written you or any other magazine before, but that's because I was never moved enough to bother. I wouldn't bother now except that I found skateboarding to be more than just a sport. It's an art, and the only true emotional release through physical activity. In Tampa, the city made a bowl just for skaters. Used to be a duck pond actually, but they built some housing projects next to the park it's in, and the people in the project started eating the ducks. Anyway, the bowl is tons of fun. It has moguls and some great places for anything. Rad Brad, the skater gone mad.
Was it a fish pond or something, or like some?
I've heard a million in a duck pond, this and that, fountain. Yeah, the mallards on the team logo and then the elbow, yeah. I heard the duck pond, but not people eating the ducks.
They should just fill this up and this is pond right there.
Pro Bowl
And put Tampa on the map for a school skate park. Bank kind of snake run thing.
No pads, no rules.
padless, no waivers, free.
Ditch bowl with some bumps in it.
Snake run, a couple bumps, a curve around wall. Weird little lips that you can barely grind on. Bunch of moguls.
A little circle mobile line.
Get in a circular mode.
Super slow.
Whoop-de-doos in the middle.
Super fun.
Rolled over lip.
Big bowl at the end. Outdated dish.
Late 70s cement.
Graffiti all the hell.
Telephone pole at the end. All the moguls. Their lines, so many lines.
You learn to flow.
Real fast. Next up was a playground with banks. Huge early grab airs, bonuses, fast land.
Foot plants off the light poles.
A gnarly neighborhood it's in. It's in the middle of the projects.
Cemetery.
Downtown.
The project. Glass, dirt.
Late night session.
The jail. Bowl's pretty much like my church.
When I heard they were tearing down, I was like just shocked. I thought I was gonna be there forever. I thought I was just gonna rot away in that spot, you know.
Nothing like it. Never duplicated, never emulated. I've never seen anything that can be built slightly compared to the bowl. This is a true skateboard environment. There's nobody here to tell you what to do. There's no rules, there's no pads, there's no waivers, there's no parents with their kids here on rollerblades, no fenced-in bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the Bro Bowl. This is what skateboarding is really about.
In 1975, Tampa Parks and Recreation employee Joel Jackson drove by a parking lot and saw kids having a skateboard competition. In those days, the skateboard craze mostly consisted of downhill rides leading in and out of cones. Jackson thought a skate park would be ideal for the kids at Perry Harvey Senior Park in downtown Tampa. From his observation of the downhill contest and photos of pool riding in California, Jackson designed the bowl himself. In 1979, a free, ride-at-your-own-risk cement skate park was completed in downtown Tampa, Florida. Part downhill, part ditch, part pool.
Oh, the Bro Bowl. I'll never forget that. You're looking at mid-70s, and the thing I remember mainly is because we had this rash of concrete parks that started springing up, like 1976, where we had Skateboard City and Port Orange, and then Paved Wave and Cocoa was next, and then just bam, 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 all these parks started landing in Florida.
I first skated the bowl probably, it would have been late 78 or 79 sometime. They built it in 78. And when they built, by the time they designed it and actually built it, the skate parks had gone from being this low surfer influenced and vertically orientated, so nobody even liked it.
And the thing about the Bro Bowl, when we heard that there was concrete over there, and that was always just a huge thriller for anyone in that era. And because skate parks were brand new, and they had never existed in history.
There were two in Tampa. There was Skate Wave and Rainbow Wave. Skate Wave went first, Rainbow Wave went second. And there wasn't a concrete park left. Pretty much skateboarding shrunk up and disappeared.
So many of them literally went out of business and were torn down within 2 years, 3 years of cropping up. Only a couple of them survived.
And we sort of rediscovered the bowl because we had nothing to skate now.
Bro Bowl emerged victorious in the attrition rate of all those parks. It was left shining in my eyes. I thought it was cool.
That's the weirdest thing about it. Of all the things I've skated, there's nothing like that has that tranny and bank and pump bumps, you know, like this ditch. It's like a ditch bowl with some bumps in it.
While the Bro Bowl is not the best design place, its fun level was just so up there on the scale. We had a blast.
I'm not very good at stories. If you had Chuck Holtz here, you would hear a lot of funny stories. Because Chuck is just crazy.
Well, it was cement, and that was all the heck there was, and pretty much there wasn't anything else. And I just happened to move to Tampa, and it was there. I'd heard about it, but I'd never been there, and I don't know, it was super fun. Just having a place where I could just go pump around and skate and just not have any hassles, really. I mean, you know, like I say, there was no pads, no rules, you know.
That was kind of a beginning, you know. In Florida, it's actually one of the really first public parks that you could just go up and skate, and really wasn't monitored. It was just an open thing for everybody to ride. And so it was like a backyard kind of an atmosphere as far as the session went, although you're right there on the side of the road. You know what I mean? And it's accessible to anybody.
83 or 84, I think there were pictures in Thrasher, and we did a contest there.
Paul and I threw a contest there, or whatever. Paul, our gang got together and had a contest, I should say.
We had TK from Atlanta with his Thrasher van parked there, and we literally drive the cars right on next to the bowl and just barge it and have a contest. You know, we have people from all over the place.
I'm a cock in a wheeling, lubricated world, and I want to marry an office girl. I've got my tie on.
Same way we had our backyard ramp contest, you know, through Just for Fun, our network of friends. I mean, you knew what every skateboarder in the state was doing all the time because you were always keeping in touch because there wasn't anybody to skate with, you know. Me and McGuigan tied for third. Maybe Michael Daly got second. And Sam Meyer got first. But yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, we had a whole little gig there.
We got to skate with a lot of cool people. I mean, skating there with Monty, you know, that was pretty cool to see somebody like that. Chuck Holtz was another person that skated there, and he had really cool, unique ways of skating it.
Roberto Cortez was super smooth and good in it, really good.
I've been skating the bowl since 1981, 82 when I went to college.
And he went to college and he didn't speak much English. Our talking was just the universal escape. And he had this surf flow kind of style the way he skates.
See, because we couldn't know how to talk to him, so that's all we knew how to say.
So it was really cool because it's like how skating is its own language. We didn't need to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Just need to skate.
First time I was there was Steve Marinac, he took me there. And we met with Paul, that I also met there, and John Brickley, and a few other people.
Then we were doing like we had skinnier trucks, just like doing like basically like little rollout wheelies on that little skinny lift.
When the wheels were like 60, 62, you know? Big old wheels. Go fast and faster.
dropped in at the Bro Bowl from time to time, and especially the price tag was free to skate.
It's been sessioned by everybody when they came for the St. Pete Ramp Town, or at least a large quantity of people.
I skate for Deck Crafter Skateboards. Chuck Holtz, the greatest man-made skateboarder ever. Right here from, from Florida. Right here. Bro Bowl local, one of the original Bro Bowl grinders. Right there behind Paul Schmidt. I was with Chuck Holtz and Schmidt coming to the St. Pete contest. But it was really a bowl that had some moguls in it that you could pump over and fly around. So it was really cool to be in a public park back then. I mean, mid-'80s? There was no public parks back then, especially that were good.
So who ripped the bowl the most in your mind? Sam Meyer? He won the contest when he used to have him there.
Cody.
Yeah,
Cody
Tony
skated real good. Cody skated real good. Still skating real good.
My buddy Jim McCarty from New Jersey, he's one of the guys that got me into skating, and took me to Grigley's ramp and like the Bro Bowl and turned me on to transition. So I was just a little street grommet before I even knew about transition. And we didn't have ramps for a while, so the Bro Bowl was our sanctuary. That's all we had. You learn to flow. I mean, with all the moguls, like people, we call them one-hit wonders. They'd go all the way around and then hit the last mogul and do an ollie over it, and didn't know actually how to flow through it front side and back side. And it taught a lot of us how to actually carve and keep our speed, and that's the whole thing with the bowl. If you don't use the two hills going down, then you're pretty useless.
Little airs. He used to jump this gap, I believe. He's a rack and surf. One of the few who jumped this gap. Christian also was another one.
I saw Christian Azoy was one of the persons that inspired me to launch out of it for the first time. He came there, I guess Monty was skating for him for his soy boards, and he did a different run than I was doing, but ollied out for the first time I'd ever seen anyone do it, and I was like, I want to do that.
My memory of the Bro Bowl was just getting there and just seeing a bunch of kids playing in the field and just kicking balls and hanging out, waiting for somebody to come up with their skateboards to come skate and to come and heckle and to tell them, hey, go for something, do a trick. And when we got there, I was like, man, this reminds me of, back in my town, downtown LA, Venice Beach area back in the, early 80s when it was just hardcore street life.
Every major skater in the world has had an experience with the Bro Bowl, and there's few places in skateboarding that can say, man, that's iconic. It really sets apart what skateboarders and skateboarding is about, because it's been around just long enough to where you can look back and have an appreciation for where it's come from. Sometimes it's not really about like the quality of an area or how unbelievably built it is. Really, it's more about the memories and the friendships and the people and the times.
Oh shit, in school, a bunch of kids are skipping school to go skate, and we all jumped in the car and like, we're going to Tampa to the Bro Bowl. And before you know, we show up to this big old green kind of snake run thing with some humps. There was nothing concrete around here, so anything that, other than skating in a schoolyard or someone's backyard ramp or something, it was actually a spot you could all go, drink some beers, turn a fat one, do whatever you want, and just cruise the bowl.
My favorite trick is just the stony ride, man. Just push down, coming on down, man. Just cruise and just keep it going. It's late 70s cement, so, I mean, not throwing 540s or anything like that. Just going having a good time, just little drunken rides, cruise around, and Jerry Giardini was always killing it.
I found out about the bowl with Bruce Walker when I first moved to Florida back in '86. We came over, I don't even know why we came to Tampa. We came over for something. Skate park in Tampa wasn't even here yet. We just came over and, matter of fact, we may have come over just to ride the Bro Bowl, because back then in the 80s, we would drive hours and hours to skate shitty stuff.
We'd session the bowl for hours, go take a break, go street skating, bomb the Barnett Bank, the 13-story garage, and come back, skate all day, until we have to take the bus home, whatever. Those are definitely a good time. Just meeting a bunch of different people at that time, and anyone from Tampa was cool.
I used to skate with all Brandon and Tampa kids. I was like one of the first, probably like 2 or 3 skaters from Glen City that got sponsors, and I was one of them. we used to always skate with the guys from Brandon and Tampa. And the Bro Bowl was like one of the spots we could go every day just about and skate.
The bowl is an outdated dish that looks like someone laid cement in a crappy retention pond with a couple moguls in it. I mean, it's like, you know, it is what it is, man. It's a couple like tranny on the bottom, mellow banks and a steep bank on one side with some moguls in the center for speed. I mean, it's just it's how they used to build skate parks back in the day, you know, back in the 70s. And now it's just, skateboarding's completely different. So, you know, the Bro Bowl is one of a kind in that respect. First time I came down here was with my friend's parents. His name was Eric. He's passed away since. But I remember it very well because Eric dropped in on one of the steeper parts of the bowl and fell back and hit his head. And his dad flipped out like, oh man. I think it was for me one of the first experiences of seeing someone slam super hard skateboarding and going like, oh wow, skateboarding's gnarly like this.
So I go to ollie into the bowl, and right when I ollie into it, for whatever reason I leaned back, I couldn't get my leg out from under me. So I kind of folded it back behind me as I sat on it, which snapped both bones in my leg, clean break. All right, I'm sitting down, I look at my leg and I see that it's dislocated 90 degrees to the side, the wrong way, to the outside. The first thing I do, my first instinct is to stand up and try to put weight on it and snap it back into place. And I tried to do that and I immediately just fell down. So I broke 2 bones, dislocated it, and when they put it back into place, they broke 2 more bones. So I technically broke 4 bones with the dislocation and the bone coming out of the skin. 10-inch titanium plate with 4 screws on one side and then 1 screw on the other side of my ankle. So I got some aftermarket parts on me and I'm on my way to becoming bionic.
Howdy, I'm Rob Marinek, skate park in Tampa and Spotlight Productions. Hi, it's okay, I'm on camera. It's all right. Yeah, it's a movie prop. Unproductive government. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're gonna go right outside now.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's a prop? Yeah.
For this movie scene.
You can't smoke in here.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, stop. Okay, no problem. I moved to Tampa in like 91 or so. Of course, one of the first places I hit up when I got here, you know, meeting the locals and stuff, and pretty much haven't stopped going there since.
I choose to venture in myself, I see I'm hollow in the sense of raps of iron hold my soul, where no man can enter, return to reality. Live and let live, the depths in the mist, in opposition to your pleasure, it persists.
Bowl's pretty much like my church. Keeps me sane, keeps me out of trouble. Been skating here for about, I don't know, 21, 22 years now. It's about the only place I can come and get away from it all. Everybody used to just haul ass, do like huge early grab airs, bonuses, fast plants, all the like 80s ramp style tricks. They used to make fun of us for our baggy clothes, call us the Ollie kids, give us shit for coming down here. But then in 91, we went to the little baby bearing cover wheels we used to grind. We used to even grind the tops of the moguls, but couldn't get any speed either, so that was kind of a pain in the ass. Basically, we caught hell. We were like the outcasts, and now I'm the old man, and it's a new generation of kids coming along.
I skate the bowl because it's crazy. There's like a lot of dips in there. I'll just be hitting any dip and just go and just curve and just go and skate real fast. It's fun. I don't know, I just go, you go mad fast and shit. I don't know, you just be out, it's nice and smooth. Yeah. Bro Bowl, son. Nice little cubes.
They are taking over the culture.
The what?
The culture. The movies, books, clothes, music.
That little area there had all those little sort of street skating kind of effect around the outer edges of it.
But I used to go over there and do bonuses over the slide, and I skated there just as, you know, a lot too. Because it was there during the, you know, early 80s, mid 80s when street skating was just starting to be called something.
Whenever the bowl was too crowded, I mean, I would go skate the hip over there. And that's one of the, I mean, I learned to skate that hip. That was before there were hips in skate parks. You know, that was before pyramids existed. We skated that hip when I was in junior high and high school.
Keep it real, something Tampa's never seen, you know what I'm saying?
In the 90s and early 2000s, got more coverage than the Bro Bowl itself. The banks, yeah, the brick banks.
Big shouts out to Kenny K. Rest in peace. Alright?
come to you like this. From the blue chair to the honeycomb hideout to sight and sound. We come to you in surround sound. It's good to hear some music again from my man, the grand, extravagant, incredible, funk, ghost.
Alright. I'm just tripping.
Back in, like when I was doing the head judging for FASL, Florida Amateur Skateboard League, I'd come over, I'd judge contests in Brandon, and we would go hit the bowl. And that's when Andrew Reynolds was like this big. You know, he would show up there, and he was just this tiny little kid. You know, it was really, really good.
And Andrew Reynolds doing the kickflip backside grab out of it onto the basketball court in the Birdhouse video. That shit was dope.
I want to see Reynolds do that kickflip Helen again, because I heard that he did it, but it's pretty crazy over there.
I've seen that in person.
Gap.
It's pretty hard, man. I've tried this ollie it, and it's pretty damn hard. It's not the fact how far it is, it's the run up you have to get to it. Like going Mach 10 over the weird moguls in the middle.
I've seen a couple other local kids though launch out of it too back in the day when we were like riding it. A couple little Tampa kids when we were riding it all the time. Seen a bunch of more people do it, you know. But then once Andrew Reynolds did it, it's like, okay, it's yours. So it's like after seeing him, it was like, why don't count anymore? When I first started going to the Bro Bowl, it was early 80s, and it was the hood. I mean, we would get chased out of there like every hour on the hour by the projects.
The area has been there for a long time. It's always been occupied by blacks. It was this park in the middle of the projects where the kids just kind of congregated and hung out.
To us, it was somewhere to skate, but to the little kids around there, it was somewhere to play.
There was always like young kids there, you know, from the projects there or whatever. And depending on their age, you know, like the really young ones were just kind of friendly and fun. And then you get to a certain age and they want to antagonize you as you came in there.
Guys like us found our way into their neighborhood to ride their stuff. You know, why they would decide to build a skate park there for these kids who probably, you know, back then, you know, hardly know black skaters at all. And assuming that, you know, the kids were just going to pick up the sport, you know, mom could barely afford to pay the rent, let alone go buy a skateboard.
When I used to try to tell, like, a lot of my skater friends who are white, I used to try to tell them, I hear a lot of them complaining and yelling at the kids, and I try to tell them, look, we going into their neighborhood, this is a playground for them. So I know it gets irritating sometimes, but you gotta respect them, because that's where they live at, you know, that's their playground.
Just going to other people's part of the world, you know? We live in this little circle, we go into these people's circle, you gotta get ready for some shit to happen.
Everything started with them with the bicycles, you know?
The kids on the banana seat bikes and stuff, they didn't want us to skate, they were standing at the bottom of the bowl. So we kind of went through them a few times, kind of scattered them.
We would just kind of join in with them, you know, instead of like trying to fight it, like, hey, kids, get out of here. We just like, you know, ride along with them and stuff, you know.
Next thing you know, a couple rocks come flying from nowhere.
That's when I ran.
I'm gonna get my big brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, I'm going to get my brother.
The secret code for get the hell out.
Yeah.
He left.
I think I ran away from the Bro Bowl twice. Like ran.
I know people that went only one time and never went back.
Yeah, back then there was really a scared aspect where people were really afraid, and the vibe of it was there.
It used to be really gnarly here, man. I remember like being fearful of these projects.
Because it was a little gnarly area to ride. I mean, you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't a, you know, plush little zone. It was fun to skate, but it was a little hectic area to skate for sure.
It was radical. There was an environment of like, you didn't know what was going to happen.
I'm sure everybody talks about the gnarly neighborhood it's in and just all the crazy things that happen when you just go ride your skateboard.
I just remember just rolling up on it and just getting the interesting, flavorful stories from Bruce Walker as we're driving up. So, all right now, guys, this is what we got to do. cover everything in the van, make sure it's under the seats so nobody can peek in and see what's in here. And we're going to park right here to where we can see the van at all times. And you might want to start padding up now. So when we stop, we need to be ready to go.
There are trouble things, but it's not that bad. It's not like they're just running around like cow, you know, I mean, there's like white people with their heads on stakes everywhere or something, you know? And half the time they're just trying to intimidate you, you know? They love watching you go, oh, I'm scared, you know? They're just like, look at that chump when you leave running away. Working with this board. He left it behind me and he was just scared. I learned how to play the game. I just thought about my board and hang out, just put up with them for a while, and then eventually I could skate. Whereas people like Paul would get, you know, call them names and tell them to get out there and get bricks hit in the head, you know. Literally, he got a brick to the head one day.
I had a little scar right there. There's some little kid throwing a rock at me.
See, the trick was just let them ride, and they'll, you know, be your friend. But if you didn't let them ride, that's the first boy is gonna go.
Well, they ride down, they do their little thing, they pop out the other side, grab the board, and take off running.
All the kids would come out and say, let me have your board.
As soon as you were skating, boom, all the brothers from the project were around you. Let me borrow your board, let me borrow your board.
And before you know it, there's boards gone, there's kids running, there's bottles being thrown. We're driving off in crazy cars. It was an interesting time.
I remember my friends used to be like, well, Chuck, you're black, go get it. It won't hurt you in there. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
They'll get in our way or, you know, somebody's way, and you say something to them, and before you know it, you're getting bum rushed by everybody in the project.
Several times just getting chased out of there with bottles and rocks being thrown at us.
Getting bottles thrown at you and bikes and stuff going down there. Little ghetto kids taking your board and stuff, you know, standard stuff.
You okay?
Yeah! You just have to be careful and actually know when to go. Yeah, I have a ton of stories about when not to go.
I had a friend get shot. I had a friend with me get his shoes stole right off his feet.
Oh, I've seen Molotov cocktails, you name it.
I'm skating the bowl and someone threw a Molotov cocktail and it exploded.
We're skating, and this kid comes up, pulls something out of his back pocket, lights it, and we all run, and it almost honestly hit the guy. Like it was like 2 feet away from him. Exploded by, you know, right by the moguls in the middle. We were just out of there by that point. Yeah, if it would hit him, he would have been toast for sure.
I was frightened, man. And I felt so vulnerable because where I live in Carrollwood, I mean, that kind of stuff just didn't happen. You know, you come down here and this is the city, this is the Pro Bowl, these are the projects.
I always heard stories about people getting hassled there and stuff like that, and I never did really get hassled because I kind of used a little intelligence in approaching that whole session there. You know, one thing, you park in the right place, then you're up there on the hill and you just always have this vision of what's going on way out there, you know, and so if trouble was coming, you'd see it well in advance.
We'd settle it, you know, everyone would skate and have a good time and give our boards to everyone to go ride and stuff.
We used to know a couple little kids that we used to always let ride our boards. Earl was one of the original kids that rode there, and he was like early 80s, and he could do 360 rock and rolls, fakies. He rode the best, and then Cedric. Everyone is Cedric, you know. He's been in like Trans World and stuff like that.
Now one kid, Ern, was up there, and he was skating, killing it. Nice style carving, but he had a busted skateboard. And I was like, man, if this kid had the right equipment, you know, he could probably do something with this.
Just one day, some guy saw this kid named Mike. Saw me skating, saw how good I was on my old board. Saw how good I was carving, so he like gave me a chance to get one on a new board.
I got finished skating and didn't have an extra board. I just gave him mine. You know, I could get another one. Even if I couldn't, I still would have gave it to him. Could change his life. Now every time I go down there, he's still down there killing it.
Keep kids safe. Like, it's more of a community. You make a lot of friends and stuff. Like, you're safe, you could say.
Every December, the skate park in Tampa have this thing called Boards for Bros.
Of course, Lee the Paul Schmidt came up with a great idea. I'm down here with him, Ed Wallenball, and someone else. And he's like, you know what you should do? All these kids need skateboards. You have used skateboards at the park all the time. Why don't you just collect them up and put put them together and give them to the kids. And you're like, duh, why didn't we think of that? Of course, man, we sell so many skateboards, it's insane. And people take their boards off and they sell them for $5 or $10 or give them away to kids or try to give them to us, go, hey, will you give this to someone? So it was like, hey, just collect all that up. And so that's how Boards for Bros started. I think the first year we got like 30 or 40 skateboards. And then year 2 we had 180, and then last year in 08 we had like 225 or 230. So yeah, it's kind of gained a little bit of momentum, you know.
Well, right around Christmas time, they get somebody to dress up like Santa Claus, and we hop in and we go around to all the neighborhoods handing out skateboards. And the Bro Bowl is the first place stop they go to.
A lot of kids at the Bro Bowl were just, you know, your average crazy little ghetto kid, stealing shit, whatever. And we want to get them in skateboarding and get them hooked on something positive that, you know, will hopefully turn into something great in their life like it has for all of us.
It's all about changing the kid's life. Because you can give a kid a skateboard and save his life, believe it or not.
When I was skating here the other day, I saw a couple kids with Boards for Bros boards, and I was like, wow, I don't know if we gave them to them directly or they were given the boards from someone else that we gave them to. But man, they're getting use.
Changed my life. A lot of my friends changed their life. So, you know, here we are now. We all still around it. You know what I'm saying? Kept us out of trouble.
On a good day when it's all in harmony, you really can't beat it. Since they took the projects away, it's really not. It's not the same. I mean, it's kind of good because you don't have them in your way, but at the same time, it's like they were the whole security blanket. Now that the projects and the kids are gone, they really, you know, the city can do whatever they want. So it's kind of messed up.
I was getting a little concerned recently when I heard that they might be bulldozing it.
Nah, they can't destroy this. This is nice. This ball is going to be legendary.
I love that thing. I mean, it's always going to have a special place in my heart, for sure.
Leave it alone. Why you got to take it out?
I'm having hard problem coping with that. Real angry, hurt.
The Bro Bowl in downtown Tampa is a public open-air skateboarding site. A cement depression in the inner-city Perry Harvey Park, painted green with mounds built into the middle. And it's one of the oldest such places in the country, built when the new sport, skateboarding, rolled out of California in the late 1970s. Yet soon, it may itself be history. Brad Suter is the Tampa Parks and Recreation project manager in charge of redeveloping Perry Harvey Park, home of the Bro Bowl.
Central Park Village is a new development that is proposed to be built in the vicinity of Perry Harvey Park.
They wanted to redo all downtown, so they wanted to get rid of the bowl. So everyone started a petition, signed names, and then they had meetings.
Yeah, I attended a couple of the meetings and told them, let them know the history behind that place.
I was not aware of the passion, and so many people have written me from Puerto Rico to the UK to Montana, New Mexico, who either grew up in Tampa or come to Tampa regularly and have stories about the bowl.
Tampa Parks and Rec project manager Brad Suter says the city is dedicated to keeping skateboarding in the park, just in a different location.
So the guy I talked to at the city, Brad Suter, he's like, look, he goes, don't even try to fight to save the ball. He goes, it's going to be gone in 10 years anyway. He goes, there's going to be a huge, significant part of it that's going to have to be ripped out.
Its options are relocating it or destroying it altogether, because the city is under orders from the Florida Department of Transportation to widen Orange Avenue, where the bowl is located.
So your best bet is to fight the fight of getting a proper public skate park built on the property.
You know, currently right now, the way things are shaping up, it looks like skateboard element will be to the north end of the park. Whether we need to or actually recreate that bowl as it is right now, we are in a position to do that.
The city of Tampa will demolish the original Bro Bowl and rebuild it north of its current site. This disappoints local skateboarding enthusiasts.
That bowl has been there probably longer than some of the people that's trying to tear it down.
It's a part of history, it's a part of Tampa history, part of black history in its own weird way, but it's also part of skateboarding history, in general, Florida skateboarding history. You know, a lot of top skaters came out of Florida. You know, everybody skated Bro Bowl. Everybody has a Bro Bowl story.
So what's the big deal about its cement depression bordered by housing projects to the east, the interstate to the north, and downtown to the south? It's been touched by the wheels of the world's best-known skateboarder, Tony Hawk.
Well, Tony Hawk Underground contacted us to have a skate park in there. And what happened was it went into like, oh, we'll just do a whole thing on Tampa.
All right, let's go skate some spots around Tampa. It's got the spot and the Pro Bowl in there.
Can't get into the Tampa M, huh? Bummer. Tell you what, if you can knock down all the bottles by running in one combo, I'll put in a good work for you.
You skate pretty well, kid. There's a couple of things I want to see you do before you're ready for the Tampa M.
It's an honor to be in a game like that, and being even in Tony Hawk's games at all, you know.
Skating it is history, so it might be fun in the future without that, but it'll never have the same character unless we hang on to that original concrete.
It does mean a lot to skateboarders. It's been there 30 years. The oldest park is Kona in Florida, and for us, you know, that's a monument.
70s, you got to figure the Pro Bowl in Kona is probably the last one standing from the 70s.
So far, they tore down everything around it but the bowl. It's still there, you know, and every day you can ride by there and still see kids skating.
Here's my question: who's going to build the Pro Bowl replica? I think a Pro Bowl replica is in the making. You know.
I think the new Pro Bowl needs to have the same hill coming down, the same curve, and then when you come around the bowl, it comes back to where you start. You climb up the stairs, you go down here. And it's a one-way path. It's not a two-way direction. Yeah.
That's no fun. You have to have the two-way direction. That's what made it fun. You got to have head-on. Come on. That was all the fun. When we get in there, we just go nuts and hit each other and stuff.
Six people at a time, just looping around.
Yeah.
Well, the greatest thing about that bowl is you can take any buddy of any caliber to it. Because it's got the hill on it, it's a gravity skate park. There aren't many skate parks where you can use gravity and no skill at all to go ride them. So it's got this interesting characteristic. My daughter's 13 and my son's 8, and it's their favorite place they've ever skateboarded in the world because their skill isn't that great, but they go to the top of the hill and gravity takes them down and around, and they love it.
Kids love it. They can just go down and carve or turn around. Don't have to really know how to do anything, you know. You don't have to know how to kick turn or anything. You just have to know how to ride.
I hope it's still there, so my son that's 4, when he starts being able to rip, we can go there and, you know, we can all kind of cruise around.
I got a 9-year-old son. Basically, the only place he really likes to skate because he ain't got a kick. He just go down and carve in.
As much time as I spent there since I was 14 years old to I'm 41 years old now, and I brought my daughter and my wife there. I've been there with all my friends over the years, and I really appreciate it.
You know, it's kind of a bummer to hear that it's going away. Gonna miss the Pro Bowl and the whole scene, but you know, I guess everything comes to an end.
All y'all that didn't come skate the bowl, you missed out. If you had one day in Tampa and you were here and you had a skateboard in your car or had a bus ticket and you didn't make it here, you should have been here. You should have skated. Because once it's gone, there'll never be another Pro Bowl.
right. That was 30 years of Tampa concrete, the Bro Bowl. And that's with our future few minutes guest, Troy. I hope I pronunciate this right, Durrett. And we're going to have Chris Doherty with possibly a few members of his band and maybe some other special people. Unknown origins. Yeah, that's right. Anyways, I am joined here with my co-hosts, Mike Rat and Deb, otherwise known as Dreb. Look at you. Look at that stare. I fucked up and I just had to run with it, and she just gave me the fucking... Come on, man. God.
Fuck.
Dreb Hope in
One,
person.
the only dirty red-headed evil bitch. Da 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 da.
Anyways.
Fuck's sake, you're already fucking it up, Eric.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to come back. I'm going to stop this, and we'll come right back. So thanks for tuning in. This is the Ed Show number 22, Fanzine.
We're here for you.
We got to start saying ED, show Fanzine, because I'm just waiting for somebody to beat on my door and say cease and assist. So anyways, we'll be right back. Thanks for checking us out. We'll be right back. Say hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Are you talking?
I'm trying.
Okay, there you are.
There we go.
All right.
How's it going, Ed?
There you go. All right. Bye-bye.